And now, finally, you could join us.
Hey, what's up?
It's been quite some time, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, how's FTMO been since the last time we discussed?
Yeah, FTMO, I'm doing the second attempt right now. I'm at 4.5%. So you have to reach 10% to qualify in the first round. Then again, you have to do 5% in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, you can, can get the funding.
Hello.
You're gonna get that funding, no doubt. And here's Tassos for Man of the Hour. Okay.
King of backtests.
All right, Santorini.
Yes, it's your back end, and that's where Nav will be making a purchase of property soon enough when things are good with him.
Hardest working trader of all time, Tassos. He's backtested the crap out of Zeus.
I was surprised with the level of work that Tassos had done for Zeus. Imagine that chart. None of us have really even looked into that. Just let it run on auto. But yes, I know that you guys are dying to hear about the gold strategy, which applies to DE as well and to all of the indices. So Tassos and I were talking about the WMAs 2 and 7, but recently I found that the Pandora engine works a lot better for gold. So without further ado, let's go to our charts and right. Let's go to okay. The step-by-step of what we're supposed to do when we're trading gold. And we don't want you to be stopped out. So the very first thing that you will do is, as you know, with the advice of We Trade Waves and the Italian, you find out where your stop out levels are first. So Tassos and Nav, I'm not so sure if you will first draw your Fibonacci's. That's what I will do before I will even open a trade. So right now, looking at B1, you know that last Friday, there was a huge spike in gold. It went all the way up. And you can see that was because of the necessary retracement that was occurring on the D1 channel. So gold is still bearish. So that huge spike of around 2,000 pips is just temporary. I hope none of you were stopped out. I was actually, I didn't lose anything, but because I was so agog over the bearish impulse of gold, I dropped the trade here at the bottom, as you can see. And I'm not worried really, even though that's at one lot, because eventually that'll go down to -27. So remember from the Italian's teaching, the impulse, if you were to draw the Fibonacci, the most important levels are -27 and -61. That will be your targets when the impulse continues after the retrace. So right now we're close to hitting 38.2. So before you trade gold, because it trades, it moves very rapidly, draw your levels first. Do the same for the indices so that you will know that you will not take any further buys after it hits this market structure at 38.2. So that being said, the way that I like doing gold is going at M5 or M15. So originally, Tassos and I discussed that the entry points will be at the crossover of the 2-period simple moving average, as well as the 7 moving average. Now, I also have this dotted line, which is the 200 EMA, just to tell me where the master trend is. And I'd like to trade along the master trend of H4. So H4 is generally bearish. So I won't really be taking buys, but because of the way that gold moves, you can take buys safely because 200 to 400 pips will happen in your regular movement. So Tassos, I'm sure you've been taking buys despite the fact. But here's how I do it. To be very safe, the first step is, yes, I will draw my Fibonacci levels. The second step is I will align my trades with H4. So I won't really be taking some buys, except if I really see high probabilities like this. You can see here, this was a win here. This was a manual trade at one lot. The thing is, because I really saw it pierce below the polynomial regression channel. If you see it hit twice and start to close upwards, that's what I will take as my first valid entry. And ideally, I would also like to see it touch, doesn't have to go below the 75-20 of the RSI. If I see these two and it is aligned with the master trend, then I would take a trade. So far, it's a lot better than also using that Bollinger Band that we looked at in the previous session, because I've found some flaws with that. Sometimes it can pierce the Bollinger Band, but then it will still continue against the direction that you expect to take. However, with the polynomial regression channel, it appears that upon the bounce, and if it's aligned with RSI, like you can see here, hit the polynomial regression channel, hit 75 or 70, it started to go down. And this is already how many pips? On M5, you can reasonably expect 281 pips to 300 pips. At 0.1 lot, that's already a lot of cash. So this is the general framework. Plazo started creating our RSIs on the different time frames. The reason being, if you are seeing, like right now, okay, here, it's close to, if you were to trade here at this point, it's already a little risky, even though it hit the channel and the RSI is at 20, because if we were to look at H4, we are expecting a massive drop. We are now at the edge of the PRC on H4. Sell position is being called for. It is overbought at H4 as well. So if you take any further buys at this range, you might get stopped out and it might never reach you again, especially because you're trading counter trend. So those are the rules. Essentially, trade along the H4 master trend. Just take a look and see that your RSI is not overbought or oversold on H4, and that your lower time frames are aligned either with the higher time frames, and you will be safe. So you can do this day in, day out. In fact, you will find perhaps 15 to 20 opportunities on M5 on a single day, starting at 7 a.m. Singapore time. And it keeps on coming on, coming off. You can even trade this on your cell phone, because I think there is your basic linear regression channel on your cell phone. So I don't think that's as good as the polynomial, but it should also serve its purpose, especially if it's aligned with your RSI. So questions on trading gold?
Right. So the WMA, is that a 200 WMA?
Yes, 200 WMA to tell you your general trend. So since February 15, we can see that gold, no, actually, at this point, yeah, February 15, gold had been on a downtrend. And if we were to align that also with D1, we would see it has been the same case since January 8. So if you can see here, it will be quite dangerous to trade counter trend, especially because gold moves in thousands of pips. So I would still trade with this master trend of 200 periods.
On H4?
Yes, on H4. You can ignore D1 because D1 takes a lot longer, but H4 is definitely safe.
How come you have MACD on?
Oh, I just had this here because I was using that for validation with my Italian method entries at H4. But you don't really need this. All you need is RSI.
Yeah, you have two EMAs on your mobile, right?
Yes, the two EMAs is 10 and 20 for the transparent effects method of validation in H4.
Okay.
Right now, if we are looking at this, okay, you can see I drew two lines here. This is already the exhaustion point, and you can see gold is starting to weaken. This is the 38.2 retrace. It also aligns with all the market structure in gold. So there is no way I will be taking any further buys in this pair. I'm waiting for the signal to sell. When this drops, we can see that on H4, the drop will be considerable. From this part of the channel to this part of the channel, this is probably 2,500 pips.
No, even if it goes up to the middle of the channel, is more than enough.
Yes, that is. So right now, I'm expecting that by the US session, we will see a lot of movement. So both of you, get ready yourself. I think you'll be happy.
Okay, great. Let's try this as well then.
Yes. So,
yes.
Any queries from the new strategy? We are working already on codifying this, at least the documentation, but perhaps by April, we will begin.
I have a question.
Fire away.
You mentioned yesterday on the chat that you are like you have a shortcut for the Italian method. So all you do is like if you go on D1 and there's 3 consecutive bars of the same color, you just take a Fibonacci there.
Yes. You're talking about this?
What about gold? That was like in general for every pair, right? Or is it just for gold?
It's for virtually every pair. When you see 3 consecutive bars on daily charts, you pretty much can expect the retrace to happen after it. Sometimes it's after the 4th bar. So that will give you, and you can already see it from here. Typically 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. The impulse would be more or less complete by the 4th or 5th bar, or usually every week's worth of data. We have 4 days left to complete the M1 bar. I'm curious to see how that will look for gold, and that will give us a very good retrace potential where we can trade in the future for next month. Right now, yeah, we don't have the 2nd and 3rd bar, but we can already see where this is headed.
Yeah. You took your Fibo there. Right. Okay. All right. No questions.
Outstanding. How about our master of the hour now?
He's not even there. Now wake up.
Okay. So I think we can start readying the trade.
Keep you posted.
Come again?
I'll keep you posted. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Outstanding. Great.
Yeah.
So I'll catch you
Right,
all. I'll send it via YouTube so that you folks can review it in case you want.
All right. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.